Hey, hey, hey. Thanks for tuning in to KAZ Radio TV. It is your girl, Angela, in the building. I just want to take some time to thank my special guest, Gina Vaughn, who's in the building. Hi, Gina Vina. Gina. That she is a really good friend of mine. But before we get to that, I just want to send a couple of shout outs. One shout out, actually, I'm gonna get his information better next time. I just recently just ran into him actually on the way here. He's a new business owner, black owned. It's a black braiding salon. It's actually in the plaza on Lorraine. I think it's like 105th, 106 or something like that. But next show, I'm gonna get the address, the phone number, and the right name. But it's right there in the plaza next to where Rainbows is at. And he's a really nice guy. The salon looks very, very nice. They do lashes, braids, makeup, eyebrows, anything that you can think of. And it's really nice in there. The place just looks phenomenal. He's been open for about 2 months. He also is hiring for braiders and makeup artists and things like that. So once I get the information, I will give it out to you guys. And then you guys can go if you want to get a job or something, y'all know. But back to my friend Gina. She is our special guest for this month. I'm going to start off with her Q&As. Gina, I met her from work. It was a kind of a funny but not funny way how we met. It was a situationship, but we ended up I don't know what happened. You did like a route for me or something. And we just end up being real nice. At first, when I first started working there, Gina, she always would look mean. So I didn't want to say anything to her. But she is so nice, so bubbly. You wouldn't, you look at her, you'd be like, oh, I ain't messing with her. But she is so sweet and so nice. And I'm just glad that you decided to come on and be on my show. I really appreciate you. You want to say anything?
It's not much to say. No, I remember meeting her because she was new and I was trying to help her out. That's all I have to say about that. And I begged her to stay.
Yeah, because I was about to quit.
She was trying to quit.
All right. So, again, I met Gina from work. We are about to get into her Q&A session for this episode. And then next episode, we are going to listen to Gina's story. We're going to try to cope with her triggers and see where she's at in life from her situation. So, Gina, if you don't mind, I'm going to start with the first question, just something general. So tell me more about yourself.
Okay. As you know, my name is Gina Vaughn. I'm 41. I have one child and only plan on having one child. And I worked as a teacher aide for children with autism. And I'm currently I'm just doing other things, of course, because of COVID-19. And I've been in the military, which has been a very, very big part of my life. I have a huge military family out there, which I love being around.
Yes. Gina is the first person that I ever actually met that was from the military. So it was an honor to know that she did that as well. Then she has one beautiful child. He's 10 now?
He's going to be 10.
Going
he
to be 10.
9.
And he's such a nice little bubbly, playful little boy. He's so sweet. He is. He's a cutie. All right. So let's go back, okay? So I want you to tell me, I know you was in an abusive relationship. So I would like for you to just go back and tell me about 2 incidences that occurred while you were in that relationship?
Okay. I'm thinking about my first significant one and the very last one. So the very first time I remember thinking of him being a little off or crazy. I remember trying to break over him, and he asked me to come into the car, and then you sit in the car and you're listening and you're talking, but of course I was trying to break over him, and he didn't take it too well. And he was driving really crazy on the freeway. But before he got there, he broke the mirror on the car, and he was just trying to scare me back into his life again, which at the time I believe it worked because I stayed with him. So that was the most significant one I remember the first time. And the very last time was the time that I finally decided that I was not going to be silent about this anymore. Mm-hmm. So it was a day in December, like 2016, and we thought that we were going to hang out a little bit, with my child and him at my old apartment, and I wanted to leave. Mm-hmm. And he decided that he did not want me to leave. So he decided he started pushing me around. And every time you try and get closer to the door or you move to the other side of the table, he follows and he's pushing me crazy, yelling at me at the same time. You try and grab your keys or your bags and things are like pulled away from you. And as you get closer to the door, my hands are being swiped away. And I'm trying to leave. As I got out the room, I was pushed away so hard, I hit the door. I had like this scar on my cheek. And that was the very last time I was in the room with that man, alone. I would never be in a room with him without a judge or anyone ever since then.
It's okay, baby. It's okay.
But that was like the very last days, the very last time I was ever in a room with that man. I think it was only one time after that, but I can't be with that man anywhere close to him.
Okay. Well, just me listening to what you were saying, I imagine myself being right there with you as you were saying it. And the driving incident, that hit home because something in that nature happened to me. We were actually on a freeway, and I was driving, and he got upset about something, which was probably something dumb, is what they usually get upset about. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, he just decided to start yanking on the wheel as we're driving on the freeway with my son in the car. So basically you're saying, and this is what he was saying in the car: if I can't have you, if we gonna die, we all gonna die together. Mm. And so you're willing to risk your son's life because you are having a disagreement with me. And at times like that, it's like, do you think, like, do they really think about what they're doing, or are they just trying to scare us into staying, which means, if I ever try to leave, I know he's going to do X, Y, and Z. That's why I can relate to both of those incidences really well, because I went through it too. Me and Gina, we talk a lot. We could talk on the phone for hours, but just about, different things. So, I know a little bit more than, what she's saying now. But again, it's just a Q&A. And this is the type of emotions that we want to get out. We want to get these emotions out because, in a sense, it kind of help us heal. From my first episode when I broke down till now, I feel like each episode, with hearing stories like this and Denise Power's story, it makes me feel more stronger. I have been getting so many inquiries about abuse, because I don't just talk about domestic abuse. It's not going to be just about domestic abuse. It's going to be about kid abuse, any type of abuse, and so I do have a lot of people calling and inquiring about, being on a podcast, and I appreciate it. And we are going to be getting to all different types of abuse, rape, everything. Okay, so just bear with us. The domestic violence is really dear, to my heart, because that's what all of this stemmed from. Okay, Gina Bina. I call her Gina Bina. Okay, so question 3. When you were in that situation, how did it affect your relationships with your friends and your family?
My family tried to stay out of it, but there were times
Oh
when
my God, who the hell cares?
I'm sorry, y'all.
that's okay.
That was my phone, my notifications. I totally forgot to turn it off. Darn you, Peter.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So-
Go ahead, Gina Vina. I'm so sorry about
That's
that.
Okay, so I remember my parents were always like there for me, but they were always like my dad, he didn't like them that much, and my mother, she was always worried about me, and I share my sisters, and they they didn't like them, but they just kind of stayed, kept their distance or so. But I remember it was the biggest strain between me and my one of my best friends. We didn't get a chance to be around each other as much because of him. There was a lot of arguing about him, and she didn't like him. He didn't like me, but he didn't like her, and then her dude, and everyone's arguing among each other. And I missed out on so many times with her. Now she lives in another city, and I missed out on going to her, visit her because I didn't want to make him feel like uncomfortable me going and hang out with her and stuff. But she was like one of my dear friends from high school.
Because you felt like if you would have went to visit, then he would have probably had a problem with it. It would have been problems when you got back. It was that fear of thinking, what's going to happen if I do this?
Yeah.
Okay, so I totally understand that. So were your family more of like, Gina's a grown woman, she can handle herself, so we gonna stay out of her business? Or was it more of, we just gonna be here for you, but we gonna let you, we here for you, but the choices that you making, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Were they more of the comforting type, like we're here for you, if you need us, we're here? Or were they like more like, oh, she a grown woman, she know what she getting herself into, like more nonchalant, like blah?
No, they were more comforting. They clearly didn't like him, and they only respected him only because of me.
Okay, so basically they put up with him because of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anyone in your family ever say, Gina, what are you doing? Why are you with him? Leave him alone.
My friend, the one that I was talking about, she was the only main one who was really speaking up the most, and I guess that's probably what scared them the most.
Okay. Well, at least he got a little bit of a scare, My situation, it was more of, I felt like he was isolating me from my family, and I didn't realize it until wasn't nobody really there. He took all my friends from me. My ex-childhood best friend, I missed out on a lot of things with her because of him. Me and her has to have a talk, because we have issues, and I think most of it stemmed from me being in that relationship, and by her not going through anything like that, she couldn't relate, she couldn't understand my point of view. So it put a strain. It was strained already, but I think it put more of a strain, because on her important dates, like her baby shower, I remember he wouldn't let me go to that. Anything with big crowds, he think me ain't gonna be there. He think, he switched up my whole wardrobe. I couldn't look cute, no makeup. I had to basically walk around not boxer short, but sweatpants, t-shirt all the time. I never really dressed like that, never ever until I start messing with him. And he changed my whole wardrobe. Whole wardrobe. All right, Gina Bina. So, the next question. What was the final straw? And how did you leave your situation?
Okay. I think I went through a few changes in 2016, I believe. I was meeting people and stuff, and I just remember that summer, we were trying to plan a trip, and he was, we usually go to River Lodge or something with my son. He loves doing that stuff, and then he always tags along with, usually without paying, but this time he was offering money, so I was really, really excited. And I was like, okay, great. I'm like, well, I don't know if I should believe him, but I said, I'm gonna take a chance, right? So he, all the way up to the day, he kept on saying, I'm going to be paying for an extra day. I'm going to be paying for half the trip. And I was waiting and I'm waiting and waiting. And then by the day of, I'm like, okay, so are we still doing that? And we're already at the River Lodge, already paid for everything as usual. And he says, oh, something happened. And that's it. There was no explanation. It was a huge disappointment that day. And I was just thinking wow, why would he do that to me? And then from there, things just kind of like later on that month, things just dwindled from there, because I remember we had another argument in the house where he kind of trapped me in my bedroom kind of thing until he get everything he had to say out, and you just kind of look at him. And he blamed me for everything that was going on in the house, I guess all the mess or so. When some of that stuff was his too. And then I think I just got to the point where I was just like, look, I really don't care anymore. All this, everything that's in this place is gonna be yours. I really don't care. And he thought I was kidding. And I mean, I think many, many times I kept on threatening I was gonna leave, but I never did. But that time I really meant it. So he thought I was just kidding around, oh yeah, whatever. She's just, having a moment. I think I left the house and the apartment, and I went in my car and I drove to the plane dealer in the parking lot, and I slept in that parking lot until it was time for me to go do my job. I didn't come back home till I had to go home the next day because I had to take my son to school, but that was the only reason I came home. And from there, I just kept on planning ways to get out of that house. My original plan was to leave while he was at work, and it didn't work out.
Did he come home early or?
Finances, and I had an apartment building that said I couldn't get in because of my credit, so I had to wait.
Okay. So once you got everything, once you got everything planned out, did you just leave? Did you tell him? Did you?
At the end of the month, I had to tell him that I was not planning on signing a lease, which shocked him, of course. And then I had to live with him for a whole month until it was time for me to move to the next place, which was a really crazy month, and a whole lot of him, trying to be a better person and trying to convince me to stay and arguing with me, or saying that I'm cheating on him because I already moved on to some other guy and more. It was a really awkward time.
I understand that. So at the time, when you were in your situation, were you receiving outside help or resources, like seeing a counselor or anything while you were in the situation?
Of course, I'm a veteran, so I go to the VA hospital, and I had a psychiatrist talk to me.
Okay.
Yeah, and she helped me get an escape plan, or she went over some worksheets and some resources on where I can go to get help.
That is good. That is good. So with Gina's situation, she actually had resources, and she actually did have somewhere to go to get help. And I think that was amazing, because do you feel like without that help, you would have been able to come up with a plan yourself to leave, or do you think you would still be stuck in that situation?
I believe I would have left anyway. It was more empowering and like give you a resource.
Yeah, she was like more of a motivator for you to get the courage to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
That is really good, Gina. That is really good. So how long after the situation, after you left, did it take you to get back to what we call normal?
I be honest, I don't think there is no a normal for me really. Mm-hmm. I just know that finances were extremely different for me once I left, because my income wasn't I didn't really have a lot of money coming in already, and we were sharing the rent and some of the expenses,
Mm-hmm.
and so like I had to learn how to do things on my own. I finally, at this point, I'm able to like manage my finances with one job mostly, and and like if I do something on the side, it's by choice. It's not because I have to.
Exactly. Because like I said, I know Gina for about 4 years now, I believe, because that's when I started there, about 4 years. And she is such a hard worker. I mean, I thought that I was a go-getter, but Gina, she works her behind off. Like, she would get done, and then next thing I know, we talking. I'm thinking she going home. She's like, no, I'm doing DoorDash, or I'm doing Uber. I'm like, well, dang, do you get any sleep? I mean, she keeps going, and that's what I love about her. Is when she needs something, she is really determined to get it, and that's the type of people that I like to hang around. I don't like to hang around people that just want to sit and be lazy. And I think both of us had a lazy daisy in our lives, because we'll sit there and we just talk about them like, is yours acting up? Like, yeah, mine's acting up. Like, must be something in there today.
Right.
All right. So, and again, like she was saying, it's no way of getting completely back to normal, because always in the back of your head, anytime you're dating someone, anytime anything is done that will bring that trigger, it just brings back those floods of memories, and it's really hard to get back to that point in life where you can just forgive and forget. You can always forgive, but it's really hard to forget, especially when someone's been physically abusive towards you. So let's see. So we're going to fast forward to now. Where are you at this point of your life?
Okay.
Like, what are you doing with your life now? Like, 7 and 8 is probably kind of the same question in a sense, but it's like, what are you doing now? How do you feel? Do you feel like you was there and you're now climbing up? How are you?
Actually, I'm doing way better now. I'm learning self-care. I still have one child, and we're just, I'm not saying we're living in a better place, but we're able to live in a house finally, and not worry as much about finances. And career, I really don't really have a career so far. The COVID-19 kind of took away the little joy I had at the school. So maybe one day I'll come and revisit that little moment again. But that's we're just kind of making it right now.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that, because even though you feel like you haven't moved far, you still have, because you got out that situation. You are 10 years dealing with the man. You still got 8 more to go, and I just feel like you came a long way, just from how long I known you, and the things that I know that you went through. I feel like you came a really far way. And you should just be super proud of yourself. You're an awesome mom. You're a go-getter. And I just truly believe that you just gonna keep going to the top. You don't let nothing bring you down. Nothing. So we do got a couple more minutes, but I do want to get this question in. I do want to ask about your triggers. Now that the experience is over, what are some of the triggers that you are having, or like you experience, with certain things?
Okay, my triggers. Well, one thing I do, if I hear like my sister or a relative talk to me or someone, I'm really quick to tell them that's emotional abuse. That is, hey, you don't have to take that. It's okay to be happy if you have,
So you see it quicker now.
Yeah.
You can,
Definitely.
your senses pick up on something that's not right because you went through it. It's like, so I completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like I remember telling someone else, like, look, yeah, that person said those things to you, but that's emotional abuse. They're just trying to get you to come back. Like my friend, like he did, try to make you come back in fear, like as if you're worried. You're worried about his safety and etc.
Right.
Main trigger. I refuse to be with anyone who's anything similar to him. Birthday, look like him, or mostly birthday. I refuse to be with he just said out loud, sorry, Geminis. I do not want to be with a Gemini man. I can't do it.
Yeah. And it's sad to say, but those type of triggers do exist. After him, I'm like, nope, I'm not messing with no more Tauruses. I just, after that, it was just more cutthroat. I ain't got time for it. As soon as I feel like you haven't the tendency to think to even want to do anything, I'm Xing you out. I'm just more cautious now of like how I date and things like that. So I kudos, because I definitely can relate to that. So I know you said you had the counselor from the VA. After the situation was over with, do you still go to see that counselor?
Actually, I'm more active in the counseling.
Okay.
I'm in group therapy now.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that.
It's actually a really good therapy. But now I have a job that like works at night, so I get a chance to do things in the daylight. It's hard because you got to stay awake, but so like Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we do because of COVID-19 is the video. If it wasn't then, we would be in a little room, but we do video conference, and they go over topics that help you get through, help you learn how to make different decisions or think differently. And the main thing they teach us is about mindfulness, like seeing things as they are without judgment, and you're just kind of focused on one thing and try not to focus on other things at the time. I guess in my mind, it's a way for me to like especially when I'm like I had to drop off my son, it just keeps me calm.
Okay, nice. Now, next time you come, get that information for me, address, name, and phone number, things like that. I would love to give them a shout out, and we can definitely give some people that might need that resource. We want to get them that information, because you even got me want to look into it. It never hurts to try it or help out with that. So with that being said, we about to wrap up. So do you have any final words?
Oh gosh. Final words. If I were to give a young girl advice,
Yes.
Wow, watch out for those, what do you call those things? Red alerts or that little thing.
We call them, it's red flags, but here on this show, we call them purple flags.
Oh yeah, those.
Yeah.
Don't ignore them. That's actually the true person that they really are. That's all I have to say about that. I learned my lesson, and soon as he hits you the first time, or he's yelling at you really hard, or take it serious, and maybe you want to change your direction with your relationship or so.
Okay. All right, Jeannie Beanie. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on this show. You guys, I hope you learned something today. I will see you guys on the next episode of No More Triggers. Don't forget, learn how to control the triggers or let the triggers control you. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.